All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Revolutionary Girl Utena, episode 32. Right. Nanami, please. Don't keep this to yourself.
Don't keep it to yourself.
Don't keep this to yourself. Yeah. Don't doubt what you saw. Certainly don't let him convince you of, oh no, it was something else.
Yeah. We need you to specifically tell Utena first. But then also, if you can, just tell the student council, hey, can we investigate Akio? Can we see what the deal is with him? What is the deal? What is up with Akio? Who is he? What is he doing here? Why is he here? What?
Yeah.
What? I half expect once Nanami is like free to move about the cabin, basically.
Yep.
A certain red-haired pilot will kind of come back and be like, I should have been being more attentive to you, being a little bit closer, and just, maybe a little bit, a little bit more involved. I'm actually genuinely a bit worried for Nanami.
Oh, I am very worried for Nanami. Yes, absolutely. And that's why I want her to tell Utena immediately, so that way, at least the secret is out with somebody. And then
there's also the possibility, and this is the crazy thing, I'm also worried about how if she confronts Anthi, that it's the kind of thing where Anthi's whole negative feelings towards Nanami and the whole kind of fucked up stuff that's going on in Anthi's head could end up also screwing this up as well.
Yeah, but in a way, my biggest worry here is that although this is probably fairly realistic in the way that Utena likes to go about things, there's no adult characters in this show. And I'm guessing the reason for that is because if they were to, it's that representation where if they do go to the adults, then the adults
Akio's an adult.
No, the adults don't necessarily believe or take it seriously or, yada, 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 something like that. So,
he's a young adult, yeah. But, all right, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Oh! I mean, I know there's this crazy stuff going on, but Auntie looked absolutely adorable in that apron. Dress apron. Yeah. Romance of the Dancing Girls. All right. Okay.
And the way it's just everything's continuing on like normal.
Yeah, she can't say it here. I get that.
Right.
I get that. Oh. Okay. So she's not gonna tell. Oh, she must be terribly tormented. The real victim here is Choo Choo.
Yeah, talk to Mickey about it.
Yeah. Nice. I love the ticking sound. All this, yeah.
Right, because he would.
Right.
Yeah. He'd pick up on what's going on.
Ding. This is cool. Wow. And then the other tone for the... She's thinking of his feelings. Oh my god.
Shit.
Nanami, his character development. Yeah, she feels so alone. Yeah, it's not even like the first thing on her mind in order to deal with what she should tell other people. Yeah. So she gonna tell him first? Is it one of the three friends?
Wow.
Oh my god.
So everybody knows but her?
Yeah. Oh, is he doing this for her to hear? He's doing this for her to hear because he knows that she's there. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, that look. Oh my god. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Ah, shit. Ah.
Isolating her one at a time.
No, just kidding. Here.
Yeah. How much you want to bet that's Akio?
Oh, I will bet everything that that's Akio.
Or is that his phone with other
Oh, right. That's his phone. What am I talking about? Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Oh. Oh. I broke it. That's a cool little bit of parallel running there. Oh my god, Yeah, sure does.
Oh.
No.
二人きりなのに邪魔しちゃ悪いですよ。二人だけの時間を楽しませてあげてください。怖すぎるこいつ。あら私。どうも。
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Good luck, Nanami.
It's that feeling when everyone around you seems insane. You wonder if you're the crazy one.
Yep.
Talk to me.
Come on.
毎晩こんな風に顔を突き合わせて寝てるわけ。変わってるわよね。あんたってちょっとどっかずれてるっていうか、鈍いっていうか、むしろ喜んでるんじゃない？二人仲良く寝る口実ができて。あの兄弟は仲がいいからね。
God damn it. God damn it.
やっぱり鈍いのね。
Okay, but she did. Yeah.
兄弟と一緒に暮らせるわけだわ。
Mhm.
兄弟っていいよね。いつでも気持ちが通じ合っているみたいで。
Oh my god.
ナナミとトーガだって今までの関係を見失わなければ、あいつらと一緒にしないで。あんたに何がわかんないよ。
Not a goddamn thing.
No.
そうでもなけりゃ、俺が相手にする。
Yeah, how could she care about what other people's fucked up stuff is going on when she's dealing with the fact that her family has betrayed her like this? Yeah.
Yep.
Who even am I?
Well, and with all the questioning and everything, and with the way everybody else is treating it, it's the wait. Is this just normal?
Right. She held on to it. Oh.
What?
Cool. Yeah. Come on.
お兄様がどう思っていようと、私たちもう元に戻れないのは分かっています。
And this music's starting.
転校届を出しました。
Whoa.
お兄様とは会わないつもり。
Okay.
だから最後に知りたいの。本当のお兄様のことを。どうしてそれを？
ほら、聞こえないか。
Oh shit.
お前の魂が本当に諦めていなければ、 さらおう君が望む世界へもしもしさあドライブの時間だ
Yeah.
あなたは
Nah, bitch. Just starts running.
Yeah. Sick the elephants on them.
Yeah.
私見たの。
何を
それは
Yeah, she's sick to her stomach, yeah.
恐ろしい。
I'm sick to my stomach. Like,
Right.
いや、離して。
yeah.
Right.
どうせ兄弟じゃないんだ
Oh my god.
じゃあお前が望んでいるものは何だ世界の果てを見せてあげよう君にも
Come on, Nanami.
Come on.
Just leap out of the car. No response from Nanami? Fuck!
I know that this show does repeat footage and everything, but like,
We kind of needed a response from her there.
unless the
Okay, we'll
response
see- we'll
wasn't
see here.
important.
Or it didn't matter what
Yeah,
she
yeah,
did.
exactly. Yeah.
でも今までとは違うのよ断っておくけど、あんたに従う理由なんてこれっぽっちもないんだから。
I don't care.
本当に損したわよ。なんな
What
のよ
look are we gonna see from her face?
Shit.
姫宮何するんだな
Shit.
私はその女とは違うの。
Oh my
言
god.
ってるんだ。今日の放課後
Fuck.
決闘広場で。なんだってバカを言うな。
Yeah.
こいつがどうなってもいいっていうの
That is such a Nanami thing to do. That is such a Nanami thing to do. Holy shit. Psycho power! Oh my god! Yeah, no tricks, no gimmicks. Yep.
そんなのトリックに決まってるわ。スペシャル念力インチキ念力マックスパワー
This show makes me so uncomfortable, like, so many times. Yep, yep.
Fuck.
Nobody? Okay, I was gonna say, Toga better be there, yeah.
ナナミをそそのかしたのはお前だったのか。
いやここに来たのはナナミ自身の意志だ
それでも兄貴か。
俺とナナミは兄弟じゃない知ってるだろ
決闘であんたに勝ってお兄様も今までの自分もすべてバカ。
Okay. Yep. Let's talk to her through this duel. Let's do it.
世界を革命する力を。
They're giving extra focus, I feel like, to this this duel. Like lots of little bit of extra new footage, it seems. Or maybe it's just been a while since we've seen a duel.
Well, the stuff with Toga, I feel like was.
Okay.
であることの一部だった。私は信じていた。私とお兄様の間には確かな絆があると。でも何もなかった。
Oh, the descending of the music there.
そんなことが重要なのか。形はどうあれ思いがあれば。
Yeah. Yep. Yellow flowers. Yep. 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 Rose is gone.
教えてよ。私に何があるの。
Yeah, these moments.
ただのハエに過ぎないの。
ナナミ君には本当のことを教えてやるのか。
そうですね
本当
Oh.
は血のつながった兄弟なんだろ
ええ俺とナナミは二人揃って今のキリ
Oh, we were both adopted. Oh my god.
う。誤解は早く解いてやれよ。
でも血のつながらない兄弟だと思われてた方がロマンティックですよね
悪い兄貴だな。
Just stare at the camera while you say it.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. That episode made me feel sick.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's Yeah. All right, Nanami, I'm sorry. That's all I can say really for you. I'm sorry. You don't deserve this. This was just a shit situation.
We
feel sick. Like,
yeah,
the abusive,
not quite
circles and layers of just control and manipulation and sick malice and almost cold disregard. It's a violation.
It is right there to the point where I almost want to just go get a bowl to have by my chair right now.
Right, yeah.
That
there's layers here, so let's go through them. So the first layer, obviously, is that Nanami is dealing with a secret that is very painful for her to have to reconcile with.
And there's no misconstruing of what was going on, right? Like there's
she didn't doubt herself.
Yeah, she didn't doubt herself.
She knows.
Even when Utena was saying things that could have made it be something where it's like, wait, what? No.
Do you doubt what she saw? She's like, no. So clearly you're a dense dumbass.
Right, because also clearly you don't know what's going on and are just okay with it.
Yeah. So she knows that Utena doesn't know.
Right.
That's good.
And yet, because Utena's so dense and everything,
she doesn't trust to tell her.
Right?
Great writing in terms of actually giving us a reason for the character to not just say something that just solves the plot.
Right.
A classic example in romance stories is that if the characters just talked, then everything would end immediately. And why are we having this keep going on? So Nanami has that layer. Let's get into the others. Why don't we?
Yeah.
So then there's Toga. Toga is kind of the one where all the other layers are like kind of spiraling out from there.
Because it's the Toga is her personal shit that she already wasn't fully sure if she would be able to deal with it. Sure. Hence her coming here and things like that.
Yep.
And because of the fact that she hasn't told anyone yet. And that causes things to happen like blowing up at Amphi.
Yep.
Then it ends up having her feel distanced from the people that she does know and might be able to rely on because they're like, whoa, you're acting so strange. What's going on, right? This is just another normal day. And so then even with her friends, right, because, of course, they don't actually really care about her and they want to get with her brother and everything. And so she ends up hearing a conversation that, to be fair, I'm very glad that she heard that.
Yeah.
Because it's painful, but it's to the point, right?
Yeah. Do you think that because of the stuff that we learned about Toga at the end, that he actually didn't know that she was there? Because there's a weird way in which I kind of think he knew
that he knew that she was there. I think that is a definite possibility.
Yeah. But I don't think there's any strong, evidence that he entirely knew.
He knows that she has his phone.
Yeah.
Right. That was cleared up earlier.
Yeah.
So I think there's a definite possibility of that. From the standpoint of the lie of no, we are actual siblings.
Right.
But I just don't tell her that she's adopted. I think that could be an aspect where he's saying that because he knows or thinks she's listening in. I think there's also a very definite possibility that he's just saying that because he genuinely does like that fanciful little lie,
Yeah. That kind of tracks.
Yeah. And I gotta say, I absolutely adore that this anime brought that up. Of if it's not related by blood, it's fine, right? I don't know. The fact that the commentary of an anime from the 90s could feel so relevant for the anime community today. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I think that this is truly one of those timeless stories when it comes to the matters of the fucked up ways in which we handle love or just not really love, but our maturation from child into adulthood.
The whole sex conversation,
I mean, sure, but just
in addition to everything else,
just also the realization of kind of moving from the world of being a child to being an adult, and the way in which adults will prey upon that, and specifically those that are kind of just ahead of the journey as well. They're not necessarily adults like Toga, for instance, but are absolutely going to take advantage of those caught up in the confusion of all that mess. And then we have someone like Anthi, who is herself both a victim and something else. So we don't know fully where her whole thing of things
right, because the whole morning situation made that even more complicated.
Right.
Even though it could still be either way.
Did you check the kind of think about the spot where the faucet was like, oh, it's leaking. Oh no.
Yeah.
And
now it's
it's just overflowing.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I broke it.
Yeah.
It very much felt like the Anthi has been kind of pushing and poking Nanami in indirect ways to kind of lead to this point as well.
Yeah.
She kind of got her vengeance, if you will.
Right, because Nanami was awful to her. And so it regardless of what Anthi's dynamic is with Akio.
Right.
It absolutely makes sense that she would want to hurt Nanami. Right?
Yes.
Also, given how this ended up going, I'm actually 100% convinced that Toga knew that Nanami was there.
Oh, okay.
Here's
why. Give me the why, yeah.
How do you keep someone from telling other people about your victims? Make them a victim.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay. Like keep going.
Because in this situation here, right, the big problem is, does she tell anybody? Right? With the morning routine, right, they were able to, if she hadn't already told Utena, which is fair that she might, hesitate or whatever, be unsure, they pretty soundly made sure that she wouldn't tell Utena, right?
Yes.
Then after that, it's okay, what do we do? Well, isolate her. How do we do that? Get with one of her friends, right? That way, like, you can push her buttons so that she like, turns away from all of her friends.
She fights other conflicts, basically.
Right. She ostracizes the people that she could otherwise, rely on in this situation, right? Yeah. And then also, in doing so, give us the opportunity to pred it on her and have her think that it's something that she wants in some way, right? Because it's not just enough to make someone a victim with the whole SA situation. But it's you have to get in their head so that way they don't talk about it, right?
Yeah. God.
So I fully believe that this was a concerted effort.
Twin effort as well, because Akio definitely went the Utena route to basically be like, oh, she's dealing with some stuff with her brother. It's
exactly. Right.
So just painful.
Right. And the thing that's so fucked up about that is that it's true. She is dealing with stuff with her brother, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's not what the situation was, but she is dealing with it. So it's not even one of the more like a obviously scummy things of like, oh, girl with emotions, whatever.
No, it's manipulating the truth to
It's the specifically engaging Utena's sympathies to make her be blind to the real situation, right? Because if you think about it, if you're in Utena's situation and Nanami is needing to deal with something like that, you have no grid for that, right? So the best thing that you could do for someone like that is be like, I'm going to be here for you, but I'm also going to give you your space because I have no reason to say anything with regards to how
getting
you
involved
handle
in other
this.
people's business. Don't do that.
Yeah, because it's like that could actually make it harder for her, right? Like and so it's like, oh yeah, that's the perfect.
She needs to go and approach other people. So she did. She went to Mickey.
Yep.
She thought about it,
and then she's like,
wait, no,
right? Because
I can't bring you into this.
And the tough part,
can I bring up something? I want to go off a little bit on my own thing here. So in this instance here, Nanami shows empathy and compassion for Mickey's heart here. And that breaks my heart because Nanami is feeling the effects of this situation that she's in.
Yep.
And it's starting to spiral out of control, but she hasn't had the full punch from her brother yet. But in that moment, she's showing empathy. You know who's showing no empathy in this here? Now, clearly...
a few people.
Well, no, a few people. But you know who... surprisingly, is so steadfast in their desire to kind of get back at her.
Anthi.
Yeah, Anthi.
Yeah.
Anthi knows what's going on with Akio, but Anthi is so either traumatized or fucked up in the head from all this shit that she's had to deal with that she doesn't have room to empathize here. It was something that I kind of realized, like, just thinking about this episode from regards to the people that know what's going on. There's clear malicious intent from a bunch of them here, but then there's some where it's the, okay, actually there's a little bit of hurt going on there as well. And the ones I thought of were Auntie, of course, but then Nanami's friends.
Yeah.
Nanami's friends have been hurt a lot by the way that Nanami has treated them over the time, so it makes sense that they would get back at her.
Yep.
Now, who parallels that perfectly but Auntie? Auntie, in this instance here, very much not only knows what's going on, is protecting Akio from other people finding out what's going on when the whole Kanai situation with the really fucked up image of the apple with all the forks in it. That image is one of the most genius and horrifying images of the way in which well, when you eat an apple, you don't use a utensil into it. That's too much. You just slice it up. Take the slices and you eat it gingerly, piece by piece. But no.
That's what's happening.
That's what's happening, but it's even more so, we go and we spear this thing from every angle, showing the control, the manipulation, and the total disregard for the value of this precious
disregard
fruit
and destruction.
Here.
Yeah, exactly.
So then Auntie, who very much does have the yes, I'm gonna, a little bit of stuff there. Extra kind of has this moment with the little water spigot fountain thing there. Very much having the oopsie, I let loose the floodgates, the water there. It's let the water just flow as it may. And it's something where I have to know in Auntie's headspace if she's just so dead inside that this is one of the few ways, alongside having shaved ice and hanging out with Choo-Choo, that she can have a little bit of semblance of normalcy and joy in life. But the idea that she's so completely just wrought with the pain of living under Akio's thumb that she doesn't even realize really what she's doing.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
she has to realize it, but whether or not she has empathy or sympathy or any kind of feeling for it just made me go, oh my God, what is her actual relationship with Utena then by extension,
Well, yeah, I mean, I think, so, okay. I think Utena is the other big insight into where Auntie is as a person. For Auntie to not have any room for empathy,
makes sense.
That's fair.
That
is absolutely fair.
Yeah.
And to need to get things where it's I can still have ways in which I can stand up for myself, be in control a little bit, things like that makes absolute sense, right? It, in my mind, I think it's starting to swing more in the direction of, she is in some way possessive of Akio, given that she was probably one of his first victims. Because that, the whole thing with the ice saw, right? That very much, traditionally, that would give the vibe of jealousy, right? If you see an anime girl with an ice saw while, someone is with another person, that's a very specific connotation.
Yeah.
But
she does love shaved ice, though.
Sure. And there is also still the possibility, even if I would say it's growing slimmer, that it's I need to vent my fury about the fact that he is currently actively doing to someone else what he has done to me.
Right.
And I'm guessing she has done everything she can to be like, okay, Akio, the one rule I have is don't bring Utena into any of this.
And yet he's now brought
And yet he has, right? And those are the times when we saw her the most pissed off, and I don't think it was because in those instances it was any kind of jealousy or whatever, right?
No, it has the air of that, but I don't think it's that.
I don't think that's it, because she still has the moments where she gets close to telling Utena what's going on. Right. And each time
she's testing Utena.
Yeah, she has hesitated, right? Yeah, testing Utena, absolutely. I think that's something that happens, and so she might get pissed when Utena fails, right? And so it might not be pissed at Utena from the jealousy angle. It could be pissed from the why don't you see what's going on, right? This is why I can't depend on you.
Yeah, I think that's also the frustrating thing, is that Anthi kind of represents the damsel in distress in a lot of ways, and yet she is so close to the pain of all this stuff and things like that. She's gone so far beyond distress to where it's no, I don't give a fuck about anybody else. What are you talking about? Utena, if anything, I'm so close to snapping at you for not fucking doing anything yet.
Because you've been in this house this long and you still haven't noticed. Nanami noticed on her first fucking night.
Yeah. Like I'm glad that we, from the plot meta progression, we got Nanami's duel out of the way here. Because in a weird way, while we've reset Nanami back to the I'm just really cold hearted about other people and stuff like that, she's kind of retreated back into her shell a little bit. I'm very unnerved about what went on in that car there.
I mean, it's second verse same as the first.
I know,
the same
I know,
stuff that
I know, but it's still the fact that there's all the ways in which this show decides to give us an impressionistic view of the way things transition in scenes and such. So it's that comfortable separation, but it's also the uncomfortable aspect that we don't actually have a full word, really for what happens, other than we know it was fucked up.
Okay, so there's the baseline of the stuff that's been happening in the show thus far, right? That they've made pretty clear.
Very clear. Yep.
The thing that probably makes this the most sickening to me, even more so than all the stuff that we've seen up until now, is a few things.
Okay,
one,
go for it. Yeah.
Nanami, because she found out what was happening and was able to get that outside perspective of, holy shit, this is fucked up, right? It's the small
sliver of hope that we almost had.
The small mercy that we have had is that these people that are victims don't necessarily know that they're victims. And that propagates the problem, but at the very least it makes it so that they can hopefully deal with the stuff that happened later when they're separated from the abuser and the situation is done, right?
When they've already been used.
Basically.
Yeah, that's the saving grace of this.
In Nanami's situation, that's not the case. And then two, the fact that the end of it is her saying, no, get away from me, and that doesn't change the scene. So we can probably infer exactly how it went down. Yeah.
And then it's then the spiritual stuff happened of her and forgetting
and after that, even after the way that whole thing was set up, it's still and now I'll fight Utena, right? That it worked, right? What Akio and Toga wanted to do, it worked.
Because they're giving people what they want, and then they, in the process of that, they they take what they want.
And it absolutely makes sense that then Nanami would snap back so hard because it's the one, gotta get some element of control, maybe like Anki, right? Sure. But then like to a whole other level. Nanami has had some flying hands before, right? Like
but she beat the shit out of her friends.
She beat the shit out of her friends.
Yeah.
Right? Like and at the
I know.
There's a part of me that wants to take some solace in that, because that means that there is fight in her. If that makes sense.
I know what you mean.
Right?
Yeah.
Because better that than whatever the situation was with with Akio. It was the fiance.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Right.
At least it's not that.
Yeah.
But
I know. It's painful. And I think in a lot of ways, like, the really, like, crazy thing I'm thinking about this show is, I think if I was 10 years younger, I think, like, a large portion of this would go flying right over my head. And this is one of those shows that's definitely, on appearance, I would say made for, like, the older teen kind of story, you know? It's a darker, mature take on the romantic kind of sitcom nature with the school.
Princes and princesses at school
exactly.
and duels and
yet this is a very adult story. In some ways, that's almost like the structure of the story has kind of gone through its own adolescent growth. We started off as children, and then we started moving into the realm of the transition towards adulthood, and now Akio is violently ripping people into adulthood in a literal, like, very violent way, and has not only manipulated these people into saying basically if you relent to me and what I represent, you can then have what you want, but in order to do that, you will basically be giving me the ability to violate you. For that
even
purpose.
the what you want, right? It's so pliable, right? Because it's so much of it is him basically telling them what they want, and just because there can be an aspect of where it's something that somebody wants.
Yes, it is an aspect.
Like having a
he's not dominating them so entirely that like they're doing exactly just what he wants.
Right, but. This is one of the things, like sometimes this will happen in like fantastical stories where it'll be like, oh, you meet your mirror kind of, in the story or something like that, and it'll say like, but you have a desire for this, right? So therefore I'm just gonna do that. And it's like, no, that's so fundamentally short-sighted and flawed and all of that stuff, right? Because people are not their desires, they are their decisions, right?
You would actually get a lot of debate, I would say, regarding that. I would even argue that you're not even really you're actually just an amalgamation of mostly environmental things.
Well, I mean, there's the whole free will doesn't exist. You're a very complicated whatever, chemicals in your brain and all that stuff.
Yep.
But let me put it this way. I'm sure most of Akio's victims found him attractive. Mm-hmm. Does that mean they wanted this? No. And he might have been able to convince them that they think they wanted this, right? Right. And that's
in fact, some of them might have in the
moment been like, yes, I want this. And that's why there's called this thing called age of consent and all that shit, because otherwise it's you can absolutely pret it on somebody because
you don't realize afterwards that you were violated. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that's what makes this so sick and hard to watch, because it's okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. We're watching the villain win over and over.
Right. And because
over and over again.
And there was that part of me that was hoping like, hey, the fact that we're not at the end of the show yet is because we have a lot of show left. Right, we have a lot of show left. Is because it's going to be a long bout of like taking him down or something like that, right?
Right. In some ways, we can't really have that until we have the Anthe like unveiling.
Right.
Like,
and I think
needs to be needs to be given the chance to monologue. That's when after that we can beat Akio.
Yeah, and I think given that it wasn't Nanami, because Nanami could have been the surprise upset where all of a sudden she comes out of left field, right? And it would be
nobody sees her coming.
Nobody expects the Nanami Inquisition, right?
Exactly.
And that would have been poetic in a whole certain way.
She might have set a domino effect in motion.
And she might have set a domino effect in motion, but if it didn't happen here, and it doesn't happen in the next episode with Nanami, it would make a lot of sense that with everything that's been happening in the show, that then it needs to be Anthe, right? It needs to be that point where eventually she makes the decision, right? But
God, I loved the way in which this episode used, in a similar way that the "just kidding" thing was used in a recent episode. They had the tick 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 ding. And they had that with Choo Choo, and he was like, and it was basically used at the junctions of specific conversations where the characters were kind of having their like, and then I loved that they punctuated those moments there, because given how limited the animation is in this show, they have to do other things to kind of give it that directorial vision kind of thing to help us communicate what's going on in the subtext, beyond just the obvious stuff in the dialogue and everything like that. And also just, backgrounds and other things like that, but also, or just the way that things are oriented. But the way they used sound in this episode was rather dark in a funny, effective way. And I found that especially cool by setting that up with Mickey, who is the one with the timer, so tick, 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 ding. But then the way in which when the ding was warped and it had that, kind of almost deflated sound was really good.
Now I'm just thinking again of the idea that the reason that Nanami didn't tell Mickey is because she was trying to look out for him.
Yeah. Like she was the only one showing
it's
empathy.
Yeah, but and there's an aspect of it where it's like, oh, okay, I'm very glad that Nanami has grown to the point where she considers other people's feelings because she very much didn't do that before. At the same time, I feel like this is a very good example of why it is very important, even when you're young and you feel you're invincible or whatever, that oh no, I can handle this on my own just fine. It'll be just fine.
Other people
no. It doesn't matter if it's a burden to them. It doesn't matter if it also hurts them. Make it be something where then you're not the only person dealing with shit, because...
Don't wait until you're panicking and you're fretting and you feel like you're losing your grip on reality.
Because literally, if she had told Mickey the whole situation with Akio and Toga probably wouldn't have happened.
It
might have still happened.
I disagree. I think they would have just gone a little bit more aggressively. If anything, I think it would have just spiraled out to then Juri then finding out through Mickey, and then if Juri finds out, then it's the eventual Mickey Juri goes to Utena together, and they sit down, and it gets very mechanical and
maybe
in some ways too simple. So I
don't know. I feel like Mickey is reasonable enough that he would have been like he would have come up with something of like, okay, well, stay with me then.
No, obviously. I'm just saying that like
this is still Akio's domain.
Still he can thing here.
Make a lot of stuff happen.
Yeah, he has many people that he can manipulate. He can even manipulate Anthe. There's ways in which this can be done, and also we needed to have this duel happen eventually. So having a pretty good reason for it like this works, rather well. But yeah, this show is twisted and sick, y'all.
Yep, and fantastic,
and fantastic. Yeah,
and
beautiful and dark. But thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with this Discord access. So you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out my Persona 5 Roll Let's Play on Twitch. And if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.